everybody, and welcome back to some more FTB Skies 2. Today, we are going to be obtaining the first layer of the FTB Pyramid. For us to do this, we need to get the final 3 ingredients on this first layer. Now, for us to do this, we're going to need to get into a few things that I haven't done yet. If I head over to the Create quest line, I have grabbed a few things in the past from, I think it was various quest rewards, but I never actually fully dabbled into it myself. Well, at least in this mod pack. So this will be the first time we're doing this. So for us to start our create things, that way we can get the quest lines going, we need to make ourselves this large cogwheel. And then that should be it for a whole lot of quest lines. Holy. That went far. But with this does give us a few more create stuff. So, you know, that's good. We also got some create mystery boxes. Well, then I'm just going to grab a spout because I need one of those. Okay, what we are going to need for this is we're going to need to get ourselves a deployer and our spout. Well, we already got that. So for us to get ourselves the deployer, we're going to need to get ourselves a brass hand, which means we're going to need to crush these brass plates in the little bit of create that I had done in the past, which will just go ever so slowly, and bonk. There we go. And thanks to the quest reward, that gives us exactly enough brass plates for us to make our brass hand. After that, we're just going to need to grab ourselves, okay, we're going to need to get an iron plate, so I'm going to need an iron. We're also going to need this stuff here called rose quartz. And then if I go ahead and I don't have any sandpaper. I could have sworn I made some at some point for something else, but this is fine. We just need to go ahead and take this, and this is cool. We can just go ahead and put one in our offhand, put one in our main hand, and then just hold right click. And then we sand it down. Gosh, it's not as cool from the first person or third person, but in the first person, that's where it gets really nice. So now after polishing that and mixing it with iron plate, we got our electron tube, which then gives us our deployer, which means now if this thing gives me more from the quest reward, it does, which means we're just going to need 3 more, I believe. So now that we got our 5 deployers and our spout, we can go ahead and set up our create belt. I'm gonna do that real quickly off screen though, because setting these things up can be a pain in the butt. So yeah, let's just skip that.
5 minutes later.
Alrighty, as you can see right behind me, I've got the deployer set up all up and running. It's not that fast, but I really don't need it to be fast. I just need it to work. I did add a few more things that I didn't go over before. What we have is we have ourselves a funnel right here, which is designed to take things in and out of inventory sources. And I have another chest over here, which is going to have a brass funnel and a filter. But I can't have that yet, as I need to be able to filter the kind of bad products. So it's going to make a bit more sense once we get there. So now that we have this, we just need the ingredients for these things. The first thing is this mithril weave. Didn't I smelt the mithril already? Right, because it needed a blast furnace. Alright, there we go. Now we've gotten ourselves our mithril scrap, which we can then combine into mithril ingots. Now, I'm gonna need 1 more of these for us to be able to make the weave. So I'm just gonna go over here and just quickly replicate a bunch of it. You know, it's fine. Now we've got ourselves 15 of these, which is more than enough for us to be able to make ourselves our mithril weave. Now, since for this recipe I'm gonna need 20 of these, time for more replicating. Alright, so that's the mithril weave. Then we're also going to need something here called refined brilliance. Now, this thing is very special in that it is an ore that we can actually get very easily. It's right here. Brilliant stone. We mine that up and we get raw brilliance. Then we just need to smelt this baby down. There we go. Now we've got ourselves our refined brilliance. That might have already been... Okay, it wasn't enough. It was half of what we need, though. That is really good. So now, for one of the last 2 things that we need liquid chorus. For us to get that, we need this mechanical squeezer to squeeze down a bunch of popped chorus fruit. So now we just need to go ahead and then scoop out a bucket of that. All right, I got all 20 buckets of it from the replication, and I just threw it all into this tank with a pipe that spoots it out into the spout. I don't know what spoots is, but there we go. Now with that, there's only one more thing that we are missing for this elemental Arcanite. Now this is where things get tricky. Cinder Essence only drops from an Ancient Knight. If you've seen like what looks like netherite piles just lying in the ground, you break those and these guys will spawn. But I haven't found a single dang one of those. So I have to resort to something else. This Gate Pearl, the last battle of a fallen kingdom. The first thing that spawns from this is an Ancient Knight. And it doesn't look like there's a consequence for failure in this one. But it just keeps spawning a bunch of these Ancient Knights and Spirits, because of the last one, which spawns a King Kenneth. In hindsight, I should have done this before I set all the create stuff up over there, but I'm sure we'll be fine. So let's just go ahead and start this baby up, and go ahead and move my spells over. And, yep, here they are. Alrighty. We got our Cinder Essence. This is the second to last wave before King Kenneth, who is hopefully not an overly destructive monster. Might want to put up a little light shield, which is a crime that is not a holy thing, because I mean, look at that. You put this thing up and you can give your best Joseph Joestar impression and go, "Holy shield!" Oh, it's you. Let's go ahead and smite him again. Alrighty, but with that, that does give us everything, and it actually also gives us a ruined book, which I did already have, but that is the first portion of this baby. So that's actually really good. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and then put all of these into place. Let us just go ahead and send this forward. Here it goes. It's gonna start going forward slowly with the first piece being made there. Oh my goodness, and look at it. It's gonna start slowly gaining momentum. And what I can do is I can go ahead and take this thing out now. And I want this to, ignore data and put this on the allow list and then throw in the incomplete elemental stuff. Then what I can do is I can go ahead and throw this onto here. I want that to go inward, and then we can go ahead and throw the filter on that. Then I believe it was at the mithril stage that we can go ahead and throw this, and then it just goes along the line. Oh my goodness, it's so sick. And then let's see, this is where this might get tripped up. If this needs this to be here for something, it does. Let's go ahead and remove that. Then we now have this thing getting spouted, and it should go in if everything goes well. Yes, it does.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Alrighty, it's going for its final round. I discovered that I can actually make this faster by just putting a hand crank here and then shift right-clicking it, while still having the water wheels for the stress units. But there we go. That is the next piece of the pyramid, all well and good. Which means we can also go ahead and put the final deployer back, as we now need to move on to the next piece of this. Now, for this, it's surprisingly easy stuff. We just need all of the generalized predictions from hostile neural networks. I've already got those. We need a charged redstone crystal, which means we will need to use a charger, which has an incredibly easy recipe, and then using these redstone crystals, which is just a combination of flux, redstone, and glowstone. I should already have all of that incredibly easily, and if I don't, I can get it very easily. Then we need this living flesh, which is just some wicked spirits, some sacred spirits, and rotten flesh in Malum. I have a butt ton of rotten flesh and the likes of it. The only thing that we really need to address is this portal fluid. Now for us to get this, I got the catalyst ready. We just need to go ahead and throw in a polymorphic catalyst here to get ourselves a bucket of polymorphic fluid. And we're only going to actually need 2 of these, because for this recipe, it only uses 100 millibuckets for us to go through about 16 times. So really, we just need a little less than 2 buckets of this stuff. So now that we've gotten this, I really should have left this in, but you know, it's fine. We just go ahead and dig out a hole here, which then we can throw in our polymorphic fluid. And then, so the problem apparently was, I need to do this in the end. Because, yeah, there we go. That gives us the unstable portal fluid. So then I can go ahead and throw this again in here. And there we go. Now I got those. So let's see. If I go ahead and place this baby here, it should need me to feed it. There we go. It did something to the obsidian, but now we should be able to just go ahead and place these two here. And yeah, it'll start slowly eating the unstable portal fluid, which has now leaked out everywhere. And then we'll get ourselves some regular green portal fluid. Alrighty, I got everything in place, and we've got the final one. So here we go. We go ahead and put these in. This should then spout the, not quite the last bit of portal fluid, because I did have a bit too much. But here we go. We now get ourselves our evolutionary matter, which is the second to last thing that we are going to need. The final thing we are going to need, this dissolved potential. This is not going to need this. So I don't need to use this thing again, as far as I know. I'll leave it up just in case, but I will definitely have to look through it in a little bit just to make sure. So, for us to get this thing, we need gem dust, which I think I should have. If I don't, I have plenty of these gems. All I really need to do is I just need to take these guys and an anvil, and then what we can go ahead and do, you can probably see where this is going. I throw these down, and then I smash them with an anvil. And then we're gonna need some of these pink slime. Now, for us to get this, it's actually very easy. We just need to put in some fluid pink slime, which we get from a mob farm that I had done in an earlier video, which then should just mix with glass panes and get us our pink slime ball. Spirited crystals are very easy. We just need a powwow setup, which I had done before, and we can just go ahead and throw it into this chest. Our item transfers will very nitpickily only allow one thing at a time, thus giving us the spirited crystals. And then skulk, which, well, we just walk over here, left click, and boom. The last thing that we need, though, is going to be the weirdest thing, which is cursed sap. We can get this by means of a quest reward, but to get it, we need some of this stuff called soulwood log. This might be a way for me to get it. I just need to get myself this diamond knife from the mod called Roots, which I believe I should have everything for. Yeah, we got that. And then I just need to go ahead and then place a log down and then right-click this. And that turned into stripped. I have no idea what this thing was talking about me using any sort of thing to get this. Alrighty, well, since we can't get it like that, we're just gonna have to do this the original way. And I actually had to look this up. So what we needed was these runewood totem bases. Now, I already had this on my quest line because I saw that this quest came before this one, so I'd need it to be able to get the quest reward. Which, you know, makes sense. But from what I've actually been looking into this is actually very interesting. So what we need to do is we need to put this totem base here and then bring this baby up by 5. And then we can go ahead and slap these into there. And then we should just need to right-click it. Oh, look at this. And then what's gonna happen? It corrupts the ground around me. Okay, we're gonna need to get rid of all this because this could end up spreading like a plague, and I don't want to deal with that. So now we should just be able to go ahead and strip these guys all the way back down to soulwood logs, which should complete that quest for us. There we go, giving us the cursed sap, which we can then go ahead and turn into our cursed sap ball. We've got all the ingredients all the way ready. It is the moment of truth. We just need to go ahead and put all of our crafting ingredients right into here. And now I forgot about the fluid, which is this stuff called the strange matter. Now, strange matter is a very strange thing for us to get. It's not hard to get. It's from Oritech. And for us to get it, we need to do this whole thing with the refinery with lava. And we need to go through a bit of that stuff for us to be able to get enough. But here we go. We should be able to just slap this stuff in now. It's just ridiculously slow. It is taking so freaking long. Alrighty, here we go. And the final piece of our FTB pyramid. We can go ahead and check that off. Now, I need to set this down somewhere.
20 minutes later.
Alrighty, here we go. I set up the pyramid base. And behold, here it is. It's not as big as I was actually thinking it was gonna be, but here we go. We have all 81 blocks laid out in a 9x9. Now, I replaced the end portal island for this just because it was kind of a perfect fit, and also I really don't need the end portal anymore, since if I ever need to get to the end, I have waystones over there, so it's really not a problem. So here we go. We've gotten our pyramid base. Now, here comes the sad news. We won't be able to continue working on this for quite some time, because for some of the rest of these, we are going to need to start getting into some other mods. The real thing I'm upset about is that I'm going to need to get into occultism, when literally last video, I became a priest because I did witchcraft stuff. I am not pleased with what I am going to need to do. So I guess then for right now, all we can do is open up today's chance cube. Yes, it is that part of the show where I open up a chance cube, risking my entire series for all of your entertainment. Let's go ahead and open up this babe. No, no, no. I just got rid of them. I just killed them like 4 episodes ago. Why? The Jeb Island is back, and it gives us a chance ecosahedron, so let's go ahead and open this baby up too. Oh, I don't like that it does the air. Oh, that gives me shivers. Oh, please don't kill me. Oh no, what is it gonna happen? What's gonna happen? The Divine Helmet. I do not need this. So did you like this video? Good. Be sure to check out our last FTB Skies 2 video where we first touched the Iron Spells mod. Bye-bye!